Good morning, diners, and welcome again to another episode of The Cooking Zone here on the Doomstead Diner. And it's another in our series of egg videos for breakfast. And this morning we're going to have a 2-egg omelet, not a 1-egg omelet, a 2-egg omelet. And the reason it needs to be 2 eggs is because there's a lot of stuff going to go inside it. This is going to be a vegan omelet because the vegans on the diner often criticize me because I'm a meatosaurus and I focus a lot on meat meals, but I eat vegan every so often. Not too often, but I do. So, the vegans got to eat too, right? So, we're going to do up all vegan omelet. And this one has in it tomato, onions, mushrooms, and peppers. Plus cheese, of course, because you can't have a good omelet without cheese. And I was going to use some Jarlsberg that looks really good that I picked up today with my cripple helper. And but I still have that bag of cheese, that Kraft bag of cheese, Mexican, from my vacation together with my friend Eddie, where we went whale watching and looking at Denali, and where I sat in the back of the RV and rotted. But it was all right, as these things go. And I was glad to give Eddie the opportunity and reason to come up to the Last Great Frontier and have a good look at it, because maybe he'll want to move up here, right? With climate change and all the rest of that shit going down. So these are the basic ingredients that are going to go in the omelet. And we got to heat up our pan, of course. So that's our next step. And now, once again, with omelets and with veggies and so forth, you don't want your pan screaming hot. You want it at a medium temperature that is going to cook your veggies nicely, cook your eggs nicely, and so forth. And so we're adding some butter here to the cast iron skillet, which is what we're going to do the veggies in. And the veggies are going to get cooked first. And then we will do the eggs in another pan, a non-stick, because that makes it easier. And I got to get the butter off of this knife with my bent arm. There we go. And it's got to melt up, and the temperature of the skillet has to get right to saute up these vegetables to put in the omelet. Now, there's a number of ways to drop vegetables into your omelet. One way is the way I'm going to do it, which is put them on the inside, but you can also drop them on the outside. Just basically put your eggs in on top of your veggies. I'm not going to do that. I like them on the inside. And everybody has their own taste on this stuff. And, again, I try to emphasize in all of my videos that it's really up to you how you like your omelet. And anything else, hamburgers and steaks and, whatever else it is you're cooking. You are the arbiter of the way you want it to come out in the end. And it doesn't really, matter in terms of, certainly in terms of nutritional value, how you cook it. And you can do it however you want to. Find out what works best for you in the process. All right, so we've got butter in there for these guys, and I think that's going to be enough for the amount of vegetables that I'm going to use in this. I might have filled it out with some vegetable oil, and once again, you don't want to use too much oil or butter, but you don't want to use too little either for the size of the meal that you're making. You want it to be just right, Mama Bear. Papa Bear was too hot and Baby Bear was too cold, and Mama Bear was just right. And then Goldilocks still had her problems. Alright, so we've heated up pretty good now. I've got to check the temperature on my skillet, see where we're at. Let me get my cool infrared thermometer. See where we're at. Now we're at 293. We're getting close to screaming hot, actually. So we're going to bring it down a little bit. And we're going to drop in the veggies. Now, like I said, tomatoes, mushrooms, onions, and peppers are all going into this mix for today. And once again, the crippled arm is causing me trouble. Hope I don't melt this plate. I like it. No, I didn't. Good. Oh, it smells good. Oh, God, that smells good. Now, it's kind of a good idea sometimes when you're doing veggies like this. Like the onions and the peppers generally take longer to cook than the onions and the mushrooms. So, sometimes you want to put in the onions and mushrooms first and let them start to saute up before you put in the tomatoes and the green peppers. But, it's not that big a deal. And what I just do is I just, cook the tomatoes and the onions maybe a little bit longer, and the onions than I normally might, and then the onions and the mushrooms a little bit shorter. And it all comes out fine. And it makes it quicker and easier if you do it this way than if you separate it out and do everything separately, So these will take maybe 2 more minutes to get sauteed up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them off of the skillet and let them rest while I do the egg portion of the omelet, which will come next. And that won't take very long either. And as I said, I'm not going to do it in the same pan, although I could. But the whole creation of the shape of the omelet and making it look right for plating up for your customers and yourself if you're eating. Because I'm, as I said before, my only customer at the moment. You want the omelet to look good. Fuck you, man. I'm not going to try to scrape it off. And we're just about done there. Okay. Alright, let's get this off of here and let it rest in a bowl. Turn down the heat. And I think I'm going to turn this off, turn the camera off, while I prep up the egg and get the egg ready to go in to the omelet pan. So we'll be back here in a couple of minutes with the finish of a 2-egg veggie omelet for this morning's Diner 7th anniversary special breakfast here on the Doomstead Diner. So I'll see you guys then. All right. That's all the doing for this moment in history as we wait for Collapse to come to our various neighborhoods, and then we will finish it up and we'll have a great Diner 7th anniversary breakfast. Okay, be back in a bit.